Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to my unprocessed life. You may have noticed that changes are about. Changes are in the air. Yeah, I shaved, so now you can see just how fat I am with my double chin and all that good stuff. So it's Monday, and I'm headed back to work. And I'm running a little behind, but like I said, there have been some changes in the air, so I'm feeling pretty good about those. Just in case anybody's curious, the reason for the shave and the clean look is because my 2-month-old doesn't seem to like the beard much and doesn't care for it, and so he kind of just pulls away, and so I thought I would go ahead and shave it all so that he's more cool with Daddy holding him and playing with him and that kind of stuff. So that is the main reason behind it. Also, is getting to be a little bit tough to manage. So, all right. So most of this week, I'm either working from home or I'll be driving myself. So there'll be more time for video throughout the day. A quick recap over the last week, really. Last week, pretty much I ate vegan junk food for most of the week. Tried to stay as vegan as possible. There may have been a few slip-ups here and there where we slid over to vegetarian, but for the most part, we tried to stay vegan. It did wreak havoc with weight, so there is that. I gained back pretty much all 10 pounds I had lost, so now we're going back to hitting it hard with the raw and trying to watch the fat content, trying to stay away from cooked stuff any more than absolutely necessary, and lots more greens if at all possible. So that's kind of where we're at today. This morning I had some green juice for breakfast. I think I only had 12 ounces, but I brought another 16 with me that I'm going to have on the way to work this morning. And then getting back into my probiotics and to the vitamins and that kind of stuff. And I didn't get up and out and exercise like I wanted to this morning. That didn't happen. But I did get my green juice made, and I got some smoothies for lunch, and I feel like I'm on a good track to get to where I need to be. So that is, I guess, kind of the update. I know that one of the things that I'm going to have to do more of is I'm going to have to exercise more, and I'm going to have to eat more greens and try to make greens more of a staple as opposed to just an addition. And so I think I may have talked about this a little bit last week when I was trying to filter out, because I didn't feel very well last week, ironically enough. Over the weekend, we had family in, which was a lot of fun, and we made cauliflower buffalo wings, and those were really super yummy. But man, did they make me tired, because all that digestion and of the cooked food. Cooked food is not easier to digest. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe it's easier for some people, but it's not easier for me. What else? I had some orange juice over the weekend too. I posted some pictures out on Instagram. I think I forgot to post the pictures of the cauliflower bites, so I'll probably post those sometime later today when I get an opportunity. And so it's been a good weekend. It was good to spend time with family, but it's really nice to be able to get back on the unprocessed food wagon. I'm kind of excited about it, actually, because I know that I'm going to feel better this week. And it's going to be a busy week. Being on call is always a little bit stressful because you never know what's going to happen, what you're going to get called for, what you're going to be needed for, what crisis may come about. So it's going to be good to have the healthy food to fall back on and try to keep my head clear and so forth. So I'm gonna go back on the unprocessed food chain as best as possible. Again, I'm not saying no cooked food. I'm just saying I'm gonna try to stay away from any processed food if possible. So we're going to do that. We're going to try to watch the fat content too, because I really need to drop some weight, because that's going to make me a whole lot healthier too. So I'm going to keep an eye on that more than I have in the past, and I'm going to try to add in exercise, even if it's in the evening. Personally, I like to, if I'm going to exercise, I like to get up, go exercise, and be done for the day. I also tend to believe that it kind of helps to exercise on an empty stomach, because it forces your body to pull the calories from the fat once your glycogen stores are empty. And mine aren't, I don't have great glycogen stores because I don't exercise much, if at all. So that's going to be quite the change. As it's getting warmer, then I can go ahead and start exercising, like outside. Just get up in the morning and go for a walk or a jog. There's no running for me at my weight, but I can do that, and that will make things a little bit better. Because it'll be easier. I don't have to drive to a gym, get changed in a gym, into work clothes and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's about ease of working it into the schedule. If it's easier to work into the schedule, the likelihood of me doing it is much, much higher. So I try to do things like that when I can. But at this point, I've been fairly unsuccessful for about a month now. I've been thinking, hey, I really needed to go do some exercise, and I haven't done it. So I'm gonna just have to figure out a way to get it in there, because it's really important. So, because that's the only way I think that I'm really going to get healthy, because it will charge my lymphatic system up and move stuff through that needs to be moved. So there's more to it than just weight loss. It's trying to get my cardiovascular system, my lymphatic system, going and moving and flushing any toxins that might be in there, and trying to get healthy. There's more to exercise than losing weight and just trying to be healthy. I mean, there's more to it than just the weight loss piece. It's important to exercise for heart health. There's a number of reasons. So I need to work that in regardless, and because that's again the goal. I went back and watched my first video, and it's easy to lose sight, and I had to some degree lost sight of why I was doing this to begin with, why I was trying to eat food this way and have this healthy lifestyle. It's because I'm not healthy, and I need to change that. So that's one of the reasons why. That's the main reason why. And I kind of lost sight of that to some degree, I think, over the last couple of weeks. So it was really, really good for me to go back and be able to take a look at that first video, or first couple videos, and try to remember where my brain was at the time that I was doing it, that I was putting it together, that I was saying, hey, I want to make this change. And it's a little bit of a struggle. It's been to keep that in sight, keep that in mind, and realize that it's not just what I eat, but it's what I'm eating for and who I'm eating for, and that's important. So I'm back to that. What else? It was, last week was a good week of introspection. I had a lot of things that I wanted to get done, and I got none of it done because not just on my schedule, but because when I had time, I was tired and kind of lethargic, and it wasn't at all like my day-to-day life, because my food had so drastically changed. And I'm not sure what it's going to take for me to get over the emotional piece of it, where I can just go out to a restaurant with friends and bring a smoothie or bring a green juice or something along those lines and say, no, this is what I want to eat. That's really hard. I think a lot of times, and it's hard for me too, because my emotional self says, no, you want the fried foods. And not only the emotional self, but the biomes and so forth. They all want things that aren't aren't of the best health for me. And so things like that. So let me address that for just a minute and talk about that, because I think it's important. Because there are different goals for different people and different challenges for different people. And while some people whose bodies are in harmony, I guess you could say, or are in a healthy state, might have no real issues eating things like cauliflower buffalo bites that are, cooked and vegan. My body may not be able to do that because it's so sick, because it doesn't have the ability to process that food in the best way possible. So I'm not really trying to say that certain things aren't healthy. I'm saying that certain people don't digest like other people do, and they don't get the same nutrients out of the same foods based on their microbiology and in their gut flora and their microbiome. And so what may be just fine for you may not be at all okay for me in regards to those types of challenges. The only diet that I've ever seen that seems to work for everybody is basically a diet of fresh food. Once you get acclimated to it, everybody seems to feel better. But then everybody seems to backslide too, if you want to say that. They tend to go back to their cooked food ways for one reason or another. Some of it is probably lack of some things in their diet, and some of it may also be emotional. There's a lot of that. So you have to try to figure out where you're at and what is going to be best for you and your body. And there are certain things that we know that are best for everybody. They're good for everybody. Nobody ever says eat less fruits and vegetables unless you're eating all fruits and vegetables, and then they're like, you probably need some meat too, if they're in a standard perspective. But there are a few things. I mean, when even if we don't talk about cutting meat out completely, let's talk for just a minute about the different recommendations that are out there that are the accepted guidelines. They always say to limit meat. But why? Why do you have to limit it if it's good for you? And people say, well, too much of a good thing. Well, but is that true? Is there too much? I mean, I'm not sure that you can, when you think about that for a minute. Like, so lean proteins, because we don't want it to be too fatty, because we don't want the fat in our system. But then why is that? If it's not good for you, then why are we eating it at all? That's sort of the thought process. If it's dangerous for you, why eat it? So there are certain things that we can pretty much agree on improve health. Either cutting back or cutting out meat and dairy. That's a reality of even in the medical world. They will tell you to either cut back or cut down, one of the two. Well, if they're telling you to cut back, think about that for a minute. Cutting back probably means, hey, it's not good for you, so why not just get rid of it? If you got rid of it, then you wouldn't have that challenge at all anymore. So there's that. Anyway, those are just some thoughts on that, and that's why I'm trying to mold something for me that is going to be it's going to put me in the best health possible. And I feel like I'm doing really well as far as getting more greens in, getting some more things done that I haven't done in the past. However, still not doing enough to really get my body going. Chugga chugga chugga, let's clean up everything. So all right, well, thank you for spending some time with me. You know I love spending time with you, and I hope that we get to do this again real soon. I will have another video this afternoon once I get out of work and so forth. I got to stop and get some gas, and I'm running late to work anyway. So remember, like, share the video if you like it, and you can catch me over to Instagram, myunprocessed.life, or on my email at Gmail. So it's myunprocessedlife@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for spending time with me. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.